The clock is ticking down in the exam hall. For every student, this is it. The ultimate test.
It is.
It's not just about what they know, is it? It's about endurance. They're racing against time, trying to get all these complex thoughts down on paper.
And that's where things can go wrong.
So what happens when that fundamental skill, legibility, just breaks down under the pressure of speed?
Yeah.
For you, as school leaders, this is a direct barrier to a student's achievement.
It absolutely is. And that's our deep dive today. We're looking beyond this idea of handwriting as just a basic skill. We need to treat it as a critical academic competency.
Okay.
So our mission is to analyze the full impact of poor handwriting in the Indian academic system, on marks, morale, efficiency, and then detail a proven, highly structured solution, Writewiz, that's designed to build that skill right from LKG to class 12.
Okay, so let's unpack that core problem. The student has, say, 90 minutes for a paper. They're forced into this trade-off.
Write fast or write clearly.
Exactly. And the consequence of writing fast but sloppily is immediate. We see it in examiners' reports all the time. Students not completing his or her examination as expected.
Or worse, getting fewer marks just because the work couldn't be read properly.
It's heartbreaking.
That tension creates this huge internal conflict. The student knows the material, they've studied, they get the concept, but their own hand can't keep pace with their brain.
We hear that, don't we?
We do. We often hear students say something like, "I know it, my hand is not listening." It's like a sense of betrayal. And that gap between preparation and performance, that's a huge psychological hurdle.
And the ripples from that one student's problem, they spread across the whole school, don't they? How does that affect day-to-day operations, a school's reputation?
It creates a real administrative strain. Your teachers are constantly struggling. They find they're not able to decipher what the student writes.
So correction time goes up.
Massively. Instead of focusing on feedback or planning, they're just decoding. But on the other hand, when your students have clear, consistent handwriting, it's a visible sign of quality. It really is.
It becomes a differentiator.
It is. It helps to boost brand and academic reputation. It drives that positive parent word of mouth. And it helps with retention because parents see a tangible investment in a foundational skill.
That visibility is so important. Let's go back to the learner for a moment. Beyond the lost marks, what's the deeper, sort of long-term toll on a student who struggles with this every day?
The psychological impact is, well, it's insidious. Repeated struggle leads to disappointment and low self-esteem.
Of course.
And if you don't address it, it can create a real unfriendliness toward the educational system. The child just starts to avoid any task that involves writing.
And physically?
Physically, you get writing fatigue. The effort of forcing the hand to work just slows them down even more. But the flip side is tremendous. When they master the skill, it brings this incredible self-confidence and self-esteem.
That's a powerful link between a motor skill and mental well-being.
It is. And there's some thought that the continuous flow of cursive writing, for example, might even reduce the risk of repetitive motion injury syndrome. The pain and tenderness, compared to the constant start-stop of manuscript.
We often assume handwriting is just about practice, but your work shows it's far more complex. It's an integration of motor and cognitive skills.
That's right. It's not just copying letters.
So what does a good curriculum need to train beyond that?
Well, handwriting is a neuromuscular process. The goal is to build an automatic motor sequence.
So the brain is free to think.
Exactly. Free to analyze and remember, not just focus on forming an A or a B. So the training has to address the core mechanics first: posture, pen grasp, pressure, paper position.
Fundamentals.
The fundamentals. Then you build on that with the visual motor skills, so accurate letter formation, consistent spacing, and a controlled rhythm. You have to train for easy letter connectivity to get them to that point of automatic fluency.
Now, a big structural challenge in Indian schools is the notebook itself. They change constantly.
They do.
Students start in these big guided spaces and end up with a blank page. How do you navigate those transitions?
Those transitions are often a real shock, and they happen all the way from LKG to class 12. You go from a 4-rule notebook to a 2-rule, then single rule, and finally to the unruled exam paper.
And all the visual guides disappear.
Precisely. And suddenly, maintaining baseline adherence, consistent letter height, it all becomes much harder. Our methodology focuses on that intensely. We even train for a very specific letter slant.
Really?
Yes, our research points to 62.2 degrees, give or take 5 degrees, as the optimal angle for fluency. It helps with faster wrist-driven movement, which reduces fatigue. That's the level of detail needed.
That 62.2-degree angle, that's the kind of specific insight school leaders need. It's not arbitrary, it's about biomechanics.
It is.
Speaking of transitions, the move from pencil to pen is, well, it can be traumatic. What is the pencil to pen shock?
It's both physiological and deeply psychological. A pencil is forgiving, you can erase. A pen feels so permanent.
The fear of making a mistake.
It's instant. And it changes everything. Pressure, rhythm. Kids start overwriting, scratching out errors. You see tremors. You need specific foundational exercises just to master holding the pen and connecting letters fluidly.
Is that where the other anecdote comes from?
It is. That fear is perfectly captured when a student says, "In pen, I can't erase." They just freeze, paralyzed by the finality of it.
And that paralysis hits just as the academic demand is exploding. You call this the rising writing quantum.
Yes, the demand increases exponentially. Early on, it's simple things like board copy.
All right.
But it quickly moves to sustained dictation, then developing long answers, and finally those high-volume timed exams.
The writing load just keeps getting heavier.
And the skill training just doesn't keep up. So it breaks down. The Writewiz curriculum is specifically calibrated for that new 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure to make sure the skill scales with the demand, from the foundational stage right through to secondary.
Which points to a systemic issue, doesn't it? Most teachers are subject experts, but they aren't trained in handwriting pedagogy.
It's entirely a systemic gap, and it's not the teacher's fault at all. You can't expect someone to be an expert in something they were never trained in.
So the common copying books aren't enough.
They're insufficient without a trained methodology. You need teachers who understand the science of it, who know the specific correction techniques, the motivational strategies. That's what turns it from a chore into a skill.
Okay, so that's the problem. Let's talk about the solution. For the school leaders listening, what is Writewiz? What are they investing in?
Writewiz is India's most structured, school-wide handwriting curriculum. It's built on 30 years of research. It's a comprehensive program designed specifically to achieve measurable writing legibility and pace writing.
And it covers all grades.
All grades, LKG to class 12. It's about institutionalizing the skill, not just offering a quick fix.
That institutional approach seems critical. So how does implementing one curriculum like this actually benefit everyone? Management, teachers, students, parents?
It creates a positive shift across the entire ecosystem. For school owners, it's a strategic asset. It helps boost brand and academic reputation, and it helps with new admissions.
And for teachers?
For teachers, it's practical. Better answers, easier corrections. It genuinely eases their workload.
Simple as that.
For students, the gains are obvious. Speed, legibility, and a huge boost in self-confidence. And for parents, they see this visible commitment to quality. We support that with our Parent Synergy Initiative, the PSI, to keep home and school aligned.
You mentioned a proprietary font.
Yes, the whole curriculum uses what we call the Writewiz script, which is designed for easy letter connection and flow.
Credibility comes from results. So before we get into the tools, what are the key proof points? Does this system work at scale?
The efficacy is proven. It's successfully implemented in over 450 schools today.
450.
Yes. It's built on 30 years of continuous research and field trials here in India. That methodology has led to 35,000 teachers being trained as internal specialists.
35,000. And the students?
Over 350,000 students have had their writing fundamentally transformed.
Those are significant numbers. And achieving that consistency must require more than just workbooks. You use some proprietary physical tools.
Absolutely. The tools provide physical scaffolding to build motor memory. We don't just teach the shape, we teach the movement.
Can you give an example?
Sure. The scribo is a plastic plate with engraved letters. A student traces the grooves with a stylus, physically embedding the correct movement into their muscle memory.
Before they even use a pen.
Exactly. Then there's the oblique track, which is a device that helps them check and maintain that crucial 62.2 degrees slant. The Virchim checks for consistent letter height and spacing in their normal notebooks. And the ProGrip is a simple tool to correct their finger patterns and pen hold.
Which is fundamental.
It is. These tools, including the VeriShape, are all essential parts of the system.
Now, implementing a new curriculum requires expert support. How is the training structured so that teachers feel empowered?
Success depends on empowering the school's own staff. Our methodology is guided by our founder, Mr. Mohanakan P. We provide comprehensive GREM training, that's our proprietary method, usually in a 2-day annual format, with monthly support visits.
So it's ongoing.
It is. The goal is for the school's own teachers to become the internal experts, And to reinforce that, we award annual completion certificates to both students and the trained teachers.
Support is one thing, but motivation is another. How do you keep students engaged all year?
Motivation is crucial. We use recognition, like badges for Best Student and Teacher of the Month. We also use subject application stickers to reward students for using the Writewiz script in all their subjects, not just the handwriting class.
And the materials themselves?
The students use structured WriteBoost workbooks. For those who need a bit more help, there are Cursive Boost revision worksheets. And we have specialized practice books for the teachers, the DREAM practice book, to ensure they maintain their proficiency.
So let's look at the final scope. We started in LKG, but how far does this reach into the senior classes?
It's comprehensive, right up to the board exams in Class 12. It progresses from foundational motor skills to fluency, and then to advanced exam writing and speed.
And it works across different academic boards?
Yes, all of them. And it specifically supports the very demanding writing needed in higher subjects.
Things like science and maths.
Exactly. Meticulous physics derivation, complex chemical equation training, theorem writing. It's all about achieving that superior exam presentation and the speed needed to score top marks.
This deep dive has made it very clear that handwriting mastery isn't some peripheral activity. It's a central component that removes a huge barrier to academic success.
The transformation is undeniable, and it's proven at scale. It really does impact teacher efficiency, student outcomes, and parent confidence.
And just to remind everyone of the evidence.
It's active in over 450 schools, built on 30 years of research, has resulted in 35,000 teachers trained, and has transformed the writing of 350,000 students.
So for the school leaders listening, you are constantly making decisions about where to put your resources. Here's the final thought for you to carry forward. In our increasingly digital world, handwriting remains the bedrock of foundational education. It links motor skills to cognition to memory.
It does.
Given the undeniable impact on a student's confidence, their physical health, their classroom output, and their final exam scores, if you choose to neglect structured handwriting pedagogy, what is the ultimate cost to your school, your staff, and most importantly, the student? That decision is central to your educational strategy today.